But here it is. All right. Um, so, should couples be given the choice to divorce? Why or why not? I'll repeat it. Should couples be given the choice to divorce? Why or why not?
I am personally incredibly religious, and I see marriage as being profoundly sacred. But I also know what it's like to be in a relationship where it's doing damage to my physical and my mental and my emotional health. And so I understand that there might be married couples out there that are experiencing the same thing that can't escape because of the laws that exist. And so although I do believe that couples should be given a chance to, escape from that form of imprisonment, being in that sort of relationship that no longer serves you, I do also hope that couples and just individuals, especially people of my generation that are preparing ourselves for marriage, possibly, not myself personally, I do hope that people come to understand and come to value how sacred marriage is and take that into account before they make that lifelong commitment.
True, agree. At the end of the day, partner, no, it's all about valuing the relationships, whether it's within a marriage or outside your marriage, but it's about our relationship with each other. Wow. Okay. Go, partner.
All right. Your second question. Again, this is actually a good question because it has something to do with your background as an architect, an architect. As someone with an architect background, what is your view on green technology? Again, as someone with an architect background, what is your view on green technology?
So I did do a master's of architecture, and I am also an advocate for the conservation of our natural environment. And so I do believe that architects play this significant role in ensuring that, our buildings are sustainable and they don't contribute too much to to climate change. And so I think, especially because the construction industry as a whole, we contribute around 40%, I believe, to CO2 emissions. And so, therefore, architects, engineers, but also other people involved in the construction process, like contractors and clients, we do definitely hold that form of responsibility to ensure that we're doing what's right by ourselves, but also what's right by our environment, our natural environment.
Something to learn again, partner. Something to learn
Mm-mm.
again, the importance of
True.
green
Right, because
technology.
and whichever field we may be in, we all have the responsibility to take care of each other, to take care of the environment. So, hence,
Mm-mm.
green technology is really something that we recommend, no, and we suggest.
Mm. And not
All
only
right.
just that, kasi green technology can be medyo mahal talaga. But there's
Yun
other ways of
lang.
doing it. Look into things like passive design. That's another form of, reducing our carbon emissions. So I think as professionals, we have that responsibility to also take into account what we do for a living is affecting our environment and the future generations to come.
All right. All right. This other question that we have for you, actually, this is our second to the last question for you. What is your view on distance learning?
Hmm. So for me, distant learning is something that was once an alternative approach to education, but because of COVID, it's become really the only option that children these days have really been forced into. And distant learning has really taught us through the pandemic that it taught us the true value of teachers because of the responsibility that's now fallen onto parents' shoulders because the kids can't go to school anymore. And more importantly, I think it's also highlighted the gap between the privileged and the underprivileged. There are so many underprivileged children out there that don't have a means of continuing their education while they're not physically going to school. So I just hope that through the pandemic and through this forced distance learning, I hope that more priority and more investment is put into the education of our children because, they deserve it.
All right. Thank you. And that wraps up the difficult round. I think we're running out actually of a lot of questions already to ask.